I just wanted to see some different things with splitting up Doobie's line a little bit, and it just ended up being that way. I'm looking to see if I can get some balance within three lines offensively. With Bjorkstrand being called up and his play, it changes a number of different things that we can do with our line, so I'm just looking at some options.
Is there anything you've seen that surprised you from the combinations you've tried so far?
Well, not surprised, but I'm happy with how Bjorkstrand's played. I've been happy with Andy's play, and it's given me a little flexibility to try him with Doobie and Jens in that type of role. I mean, it's just looking at your team, seeing players improve over the year. We had injuries. It opens the door for a call-up, which is probably our best deadline deal. And it just changes a little bit of the mechanics of the lineup, and it gives me an opportunity to look at different things. I'm not sure where it goes, but I need to look at some different things.
How do you balance how much change you will introduce in this final stretch of games?
Yeah, I don't want to overthink it, that's for sure. I don't think this is, because I thought we were stale anyway. I thought Doobie's line had gotten stale. Wenny's line was stale. Yeah, so we certainly don't want to overthink it, but it in the situation we're in right now, although I think all the games are very important, it affords me the opportunity to look at things, because Bjorkstrand has put a different look to our team, and he's going to play in an offensive position, and it allows me where I can maybe put some other people together and not just look at a top 6 offensively, but maybe a top 9 offensively.
Is that the necessary approach? Because I don't know if you probably would agree with this. You don't have elite, high-end offensive talent like some of the other teams may do, Pittsburgh, Washington, whatever. Do you have to be 3 lines deep when you get beyond the regular season and try to get?
No, I don't think we have to. We haven't been for a lot this year. We've been, I think, basically like a top 6, and then we've had a 6 that I'm not sure what was the 3rd or 4th line as you've gone through each night. But no, I like when I'm looking to get the best way. There's only a certain amount of ice time available. I thought sometimes when I changed the lines, I lost Sauter a little bit as far as ice time. I don't want to do that. I think he's a guy that, as offensive guys, their touches need to be out there. Bjorkstrand is the one that has changed the dynamic of our team a little bit to where, to answer your question, I don't want to overthink it, but I also, if I think I'm looking for the best lineup as we enter playoffs. And I don't know what that is right now. And that's a good thing, because I think with the additions and the improved play of a number of people, it allows me to see what the best lineup is without overthinking it. That's the fine line I have to walk.
In your mind, is Sedlak just a center, or can you experiment with him?
I'm trying him on wing.
Okay.
He'll play wing tomorrow.
Okay.
I need to try him on wing, because if I like the 3 lines offensively, Zedzy's one of our, really, the last 20, 25 games has been one of our best face-off guys. Is becoming a really good penalty killer, can skate, does a lot of good things. So I need to look at him in the left wing. I'm not sure if he can play left wing, but I'm certainly going to look to see if he can.
You're just making little adjustments down the stretch, right? I mean, you want to keep doing what you've been doing all season the same way you've been doing it generally.
Yeah,
correct?
we're not changing a damn thing on how we play. But to me, these aren't big changes. This is trying to get a balanced lineup as we go through here. And I'm not sure where it goes, but the lineup's crowded because of injuries and call-ups. It changes the scenario. I can't just ignore it and say, well, shit, I got to get back to my same lineup. Porky, you sit out. I'm not sitting that guy out. 6 goals and I don't know how many games, and bring some offense. It changes things. So I've got to try to put people in the best spot to succeed, but also what is our best lineup heading into playoffs?
What is it about the way you've played and approached things that will translate to playoff success? I would think consistency, balanced scoring, anything else that.
Yeah, we don't have a star player, I guess, a name player as some of the top players in the league. But the way we've gone about it all year long, number one thing is we go to work just once, during the day, we work, and you concentrate on that day. And I think we have some balance, offensively and defensively, in our lineup. And, so that we're not going to overthink this. We're not going to overthink our preparation as far as playoffs. We're going to go about the same business we've all done all year long. I'm not looking to change that. Sometimes you get all hyped up as a coach because playoff starts. We're not going to get crazy as far as overcoaching. We're going to let the team play. And I think that's very important for this club, is not to overload them with a bunch of information.
John, have you had an experience as a coach where you learned a hard lesson that way as a coach, or maybe you did
Meaning?
overthink it towards the end of the year, or looking back?
Yeah,
I
I used to, years ago, and I'm not saying it's wrong. I think you got to read your club. A number of playoffs, I'd have booklets and this and that, and I'm not saying that's wrong. Don't get me, because I thought it was good for the teams I was coaching at that point in time.
What do you mean, booklets?
Oh, just the breakdowns of the other team, their concepts, and because you're in a 2-week series with a team, and you certainly can look at tendencies more then than you can in regular season, because you're only playing the team once, and you may not see them for another 2 months or whatever it may be. Here you're in a 7-game series, so you're going to see them. So we'll look at tendencies. I'm certainly not going to give them as much information as I've done before with certain teams. So I just don't think that's the right thing. In me reading this team, I don't think that's the right thing to do. We'll have our information, but it's going to be about us, and I think that's the best way to go with this team.